All right. Welcome to the Quarantine Check-In. My guest today is the only comic in Southeastern Michigan who can rock a mullet. Please welcome the very funny, the ever so hilarious Kevin Key.
Kevin, thank you for having me, Rob. Good to be here. It's been a long time awaited that I wanted to come on here and talk to you about the lizard people that will inevitably take over the planet.
Kevin,
thank you for giving me this time to speak on that.
Kevin, I don't know if you know this about me. Since I am now part of the media elite, I am a lizard person. Me, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Hugh Hefner, Ron Jeremy. We're all the fucking Illuminati now.
Oh, that's the dream team of reptilian dreams, dude. That's the reptilian dream team.
And I don't know if you know this, your buddy Dustin Jefferson is also a lizard person. He was sent to keep an eye on you.
Good buddy, Dustin Jefferson. Please correct yourself.
Yeah. I would say he might be your best buddy.
He might be.
Yeah. But thank you. I'm glad we're here talking about the lizard people because none of my previous 40-plus guests have dared to bring that subject up.
It's very important to me that the people understand that the lizards will take over. It's just a matter of when. And I think that we're being poor sports by denying them their chance to run the planet.
Well, we are running the planet already. We've been running the planet since the end of the dinosaur era. We just had to evolve.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a short break in there, like when Elvis was big. But, other than that, I mean, I think the lizard people have done a great job running the planet. I just don't think we need to be scared of it anymore. I think that, COVID-19, co-parenting, codependency, is everything with bad? I don't know.
No, I think you're forgetting one word in there, conspiracy or conspiracy.
Co-conspirator.
Ooh, yeah. We are about to be taken out by the real lizard people. We are going to seriously disappear. This will be the last podcast that I do because you and I will be sent to the moon to mine for something.
Yeah, well, I want to be taken. I want to give myself willingly to the people that are going to inherit the earth. I just want to be on the right side of history when this is all said and done.
So Kevin Key wants to betray the human race to the lizard people.
Whatever I got to do, dude. I just want to, get in where I fit in, dude. You got to adapt with the times and, whoever's got it, they got my vote.
I agree. And, hopefully by joining up with them, it can only help your comedy career. Just as me joining Scientology will hopefully help mine.
I thought comedy was done. I kind of thought this was all we have now.
For the time being, this is all we have. But eventually we'll get back to performing on stage, telling our dumb jokes.
Have you been writing it all since this downtime?
I've written about a new 7 minutes of material. And not all of it is about COVID.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't written anything. I've just been I kind of feel like so check this out. You know how sometimes when they get a drug addict to detox the drugs out of his system, they might say stuff like oh damn, I didn't know there was so much free time during the day, or they might say things like, dude, it's really easy to get a license. All you got to do is like go to a place and they give it to like they'll say they'll have like these new awakenings because the veil of drugs has been lifted over their eyes. You feel me?
I hear you.
I feel like when everything shut down and I wasn't able to do comedy, it was like after my body was like, okay, but you're not going to get to go do comedy anymore. I was like, shit, I got to find some real hobbies, man.
I've been doing a lot of the virtual mics over the last couple of weeks and hosting one. And it is it's kind of different than being on the stage because I'm still sitting on this shitty ass couch I own and trying to figure out ways to tell my jokes on a computer screen.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to plug Comedy the Comic Shop does host 2 open mics every Thursday at 9 o'clock and every Saturday at 8 p.m. Message me on Facebook. You like the way I do that promo right there?
I do. Is this how people laugh? I was trying to do the laugh thing.
No, people actually laugh. We don't sign language on my shows.
Oh, okay.
People laugh.
I was checking out one of them, and everybody was doing like jazz hands for the laughter. I was like, let's do that in real life.
No, because you would get hit. You would get hit. There'd be some dumb redneck. Why are you doing jazz hands on me?
Yeah, people don't like it when you bust out jazz hands, impromptu.
No, not even like at jazz clubs. They want to hear jazz hands. So, what have you been doing to keep busy?
I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Me too.
I don't know, man. I just kind of, I wake up every day. I say a little prayer. I get things going. And then I just sit around and play video games really all day. And I listen to podcasts. I try to I go for like a big walk every day. Maybe I'll go disc golfing or something. And I don't know. It hasn't, this hasn't been too rough on me. I know that's like probably maybe kind of like that's best case scenario. So I understand that on some people it hasn't been that great. But I've had a pretty cool time just being alone, kind of figuring out like back to basics, what I like to do.
That's interesting. I've been taking a lot of walks and runs myself, doing a lot of crying. And then while I'm at home, when I don't have job interviews, it's either masturbate or watch TV shows. And I'm watching more TV shows than masturbating because it's so fucking boring.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I actually started a relationship up with my ex, and if you see this, we're not gonna last. It's not gonna happen, you know. But because we're both quarantined, we're quarantine crazy right now. We're both thinking this is a good idea, and I think that that's a beautiful thing, man. Quarantine will make you appreciate things for the here and now.
I agree. I had an ex-girlfriend write me on Facebook wondering why we broke up. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get through that again because I'll have to go back into therapy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're probably closed down right now.
Yeah, well, I lost my gig, so I don't have insurance to see my therapist right now. So.
Oh, you too?
Yeah. I am now part of the 21 million.
Amen. Hey. Yo, we 21 million strong though, dude. We're coming back.
I hope so. This is it'll be a month tomorrow since I got laid off.
Oh, that's sweet.
So actually it'll be April 15th. About a week, 5 weeks from when this go live.
Now, when I say that sweet, I didn't mean to sound insensitive, but let me like, without prying into your business, I'm just gonna tell you mine, Okay. But like, I wasn't making. I had just kind of like started a new job, was just kind of like being trained, so I really wasn't like making money yet, anyway. So I'm one of those people that are like making more money on unemployment right now than I would be working. So I don't know if it's the same for you, but when I say that's sweet, I mean because in my situation, it's kind of cool.
No,
I get for people. I get for people that make more than that. They probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say, but all I'll say is it's gonna hurt for a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about comedy. How long have you been doing it?
Yo, I've been doing comedy. Some would say my whole life.
Right.
I've dedicated my everything to the art of the joke. Including giving up opportunities to go to school, to finish school, to participate in school, a lot of things. But I started doing comedy on stage a short 3 years ago.
Okay.
I think maybe 3. It might be like 2 and change.
We first met at that bowling alley in Flushing, Michigan, right?
I think so. It's hard to really peg where we first met, huh, Peg? It's it's either there or it's at Pointless Brewery in Ann Arbor.
No, because I did the bowling alley show before I found out about Pointless. I'm so glad you brought Pointless up, because for all of you in southeastern Michigan or mid Michigan, Pointless has the best open mic.
Preach, brother.
It is. It's a phenomenal show. It's comedians, mostly comedians, musicians, once in a while a drag show, once in a while an improv troupe, but they always have an audience there, which makes the show great. So I think the first or second time I was at Pointless, we were on stage together, and you had a very attractive female fan who asked you out. And I was a little hurt by that, because my set was funnier than yours that night. And I'm going to bring it up. You blew it. You blew it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I do. I mean, I take, Michael, have you been watching the Last Dance documentaries with Michael Jordan?
I have not. I don't have cable, so.
Dude, I'll stream it to you, or I'll figure out something, dude. Okay. But it's just like I'm the exact opposite of Michael Jordan. You know, I'm like, somebody, it's a clutch moment and we need somebody to deliver a line or close a deal or whatever it is. I'm not the guy, dude. So
you could have played it a couple ways. You could have pretended to be a lot smarter than you were, like do homework before the date, or you could have played it that you were a lot dumber than you actually are, and she would have felt sorry for you, and the relationship would have continued for about a couple more weeks.
Yeah, I don't know about that, brother. I played it pretty dumb, and she was not having it, dude. But you know what? Hey, it didn't all go good. It didn't all go good. It certainly did not. It didn't all go bad though. Well, we ended up kissing, actually, like making out in the middle of the street, which was cool, which was dope. But yeah, I just after that, it was I've never heard from her, never seen her again. I thought about her once, actually. I was at a Dairy Queen, and that's that. So
is that where you took her for your date? Was Dairy Queen?
No, we went to Hopcat, and then she was like, "You look uncomfortable," so we went to the 8 Ball.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
cool. I don't know if you know this. I am desperately trying to get sponsors for this show, so I am free sponsorships to brands who might be interested. And right now, since I'm guessing you are not single, kind of single, I don't know. Bumble right now has virtual dating app on their app, which means you don't have to leave your house. He just left. You don't have to leave your house to go home alone. Bumble, great technology. And Kevin is gone. We're looking at Flint Lives Flint Lives Matter t-shirt, which is true. And his bed that thankfully is made. Kevin is gone. I am just going to stare here silently. There he is. He's back. He didn't want to listen to my commercial.
No, dude, I'm sorry. I had a Bumble match on my phone, so I had to get to it, dude, because with Bumble you can meet up with people fast and efficiently in no time at all.
This is the best commercial I've had on this show. Hopefully they will listen to it, want to sponsor, and my viewership will go up.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping, brother. And I'm hoping that maybe, if any luck with Bumble, I could not die alone.
Well, none of us want to die alone. Except for maybe you don't want to die alone.
No, I'm saying I don't want to die alone.
No, there's two ways I want to die. I want to die being in a relationship, or I want to die getting shot and somebody cradling my body in their arms going, "You will be avenged." That's the two ways I want to die.
Okay. I mean, I can feel the second way. I've always felt like the hero, to die like a hero would be cool,
What let me ask you, what Detroit comedian's life would you save? beside Dustin and myself.
Well, Dustin's not. You mean Dustin Burwell?
Dustin Jefferson. No one would hurt Dustin Burwell. He is a national treasure.
Yeah, he's off limits.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, Dustin Jefferson, I wouldn't call him a Detroit comedian. I call him like a DC Ann Arbor comedian.
He's in Detroit quite a bit, so it's all one area.
If I could pick a Detroit comedian whose life I'd save all of them, brother. I'd save every one of them.
If I could save anyone, it'd be E.J. Watson.
Well, I mean, I do like the Ride Along podcast.
It's a great podcast.
It helps me get through my weeks.
It's a great podcast, and he's funny. And the raps he's been putting out have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah, let me say it. I'd probably, you know what? I would probably save, if I could save a Detroit comedian, I'd probably have to save them all, dude. I'd have to build an arc, and I'd have to get 2 of every Detroit comedian and load them onto it to safety.
Kevin, building an arc would take a lot of time. By the time that you're finished, we'll all be dead.
Bro, I could build an arc pretty fast if you let me. If only they let me go to Home Depot, dude.
You go to Home Depot. It's open. I was there the other day.
I don't leave the house. I just like to complain. I have no need to go anywhere.
I have to go. I have to go once a week to go buy supplies.
Amen.
It just
what are you going to what are you gonna do? Are you gonna, some people want to get back out, they want to get rock and rolling. Are you gonna go back to, I mean, are you working from home? Is it not really like, what are you gonna go out? What's your thing?
I have no idea. I think, well, because I have asthma, I don't want to go out right away.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away once someone goes, all right, everything's open again. I don't really want to risk my life. And I'll be honest, I wasn't taking this thing too seriously until Tom Swan went in the hospital, until the Gillerans both had it. It's like, fuck, this is bad. And I don't know if Marv Barnett even had it.
Yeah, I think it's a multifaceted, issue that's got like a lot of different dimensions. So I think that like if I think that the people that if you're at all even in question about like if you're at risk or anything like that, I think you should like be compensated to quarantine yourself responsibly. You know what I mean? But I think like for the people that don't feel that way and want to get back out and rocking, I'm like, hey, you gotta let some people go at some point. So you might as well let the volunteers,
For comedy, I don't think venues are going to open right away or allow us to have shows, probably until August, September.
For things like comedy, I really hope they do take their time for that. I mean, I feel for all my comedians not making money. It's just like, but I mean, like at the same time, for entertainment, for secondary things to survival, you know what I mean? Like, I hope they take their time. But I mean, hey, even when they were making all the cut downs and they were like, no gatherings bigger than 50 people, no gatherings, I was like, I can still do shows, I can still do my open mics. And then they were like, no gatherings, less than 10 people. And I was like, thank God I can still do my open mics, right? and then they were like, no gatherings less than 3 people. And I'm like, well, if they cut down any more than this, I can't do my open mics. And it was a really,
Well, I've said it before here. I think open mics are going to have to change once we go back to some semblance of normal. Like, I think they're all going to have to be like the Tiki Bar or the LA, New York, where you sign up 7 comics for an hour. Once those 7 are done, they have to leave and the next 7 come in. So I think it's...
Hey, what do you think about what do you think about this, man? Instead of like doing comedy, okay, we could all just do like a PowerPoint presentation, like a wacky.
Well, I'm thinking that we could do that and call it a business meeting, and that way actually get an audience in there. Like go to an Amway meeting and just start doing our comedy?
That would be funny. Yeah, that would be cool. I think the platform of comedy will change a little bit. I think it'll be a lot more virtual stuff. Um, I don't think we'll be back on stage anytime soon.
I think August, September. But I'm glad you mentioned a virtual show. What are you doing on May 27th?
Dude, I'm doing whatever virtual show you want. Wait, May 27th.
Yeah, May 27th. It's a Wednesday.
Well, Michigan is still on a lockdown order till May 28th. So I will assure you that I will be nowhere other than here in this house.
I am doing my birthday's on the 27th. We are doing a roast. I would like you to be one of the roasters. A roast for me.
A roast for you?
Yeah.
Well, typically we roast the ones we love, but Rob, I could do that for you.
And you've already started, motherfucker. Already started. All right, so let's get back to comedy. So,
sure. I started comedy in 2000. What would you call it? 2018?
Or 3 years, so it would be 2017.
Yeah, 17. That sounds right.
Where was your first mic at?
My first mic was in it was in Novi at a hotel, and it was for a private convention that was going on, and I had lied about my experience, and they gave me a 5-minute set, and I did about 38 seconds.
Why 38 seconds?
I just kept it tight, brother. I just wanted to keep it, because I had no material and I didn't know how to work material. I didn't know how to talk in front of people really. So I went up there. I forgot everything I was going to say. I started talking about, just off of the top of the head, making up a story that never happened in a situation I never thought about. And I bombed for a joke and I said, fuck that, But I came back like a week later to Pointless Brewery, and I did my first bad set there, and then the dream was born, destiny began, friendship was formed.
I like the majority of your jokes. They're all funny. But one of your jokes in particular about you not knowing your dad's true identity, I think is such a smart, funny joke. Let's talk about the genesis of that one. How did you come up with it?
Well, I know my dad's identity. I don't know. That might be a Dustin joke.
Oh shit, you're right. I'm bad. My bad. I am confusing the two of you. Oh my God, I feel so shitty. I booked the wrong person. No.
Hold on, we can get him over here. Hold on, Dustin. You wanna I got him here. No, I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't be surprised if you guys lived together.
Well, it's my old roommate. We used to live together.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I should have I should have had my crack staff do research on everything before we actually sat down to talk.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fire your staff, man. That's all that there is to it. Let's get into your jokes.
Okay.
Hello, Margaret. It's me.
Okay. How did I come up with that?
I love that. No, let's just talk about that joke.
Okay.
I love it because it's like, why do you when I do things comedically on stage, when I tell a joke, it's like I always want to set a tone with jokes that I open with, and I notice that that's a joke that you open with. So why is it that you want what kind of tone do you like about what? Let me hold on. Give me 2 seconds to restart this question.
Okay.
What kind of tone are you trying to set when you tell that joke opening up in a set?
I tell that joke. I used to when I opened my set with that joke, it was because I wanted the audience to realize nothing is off limits from this point. I also found out telling that joke right away heavily divided the audience. People either loved me or hated me. And I've since moved that joke into the middle of my set, and telling more like, gosh darn, we like this guy's jokes.
Oh yeah.
But Also, I think the reason I started telling it was Joel from the castle told me I shouldn't open with that. But then he heard me open with it one night there. He goes, all right, it works. And so I'm like, yeah, it works. Of course it does. And then I used it for many months as my opener.
Well, I like it. I like it, man. I like a joke that's that kind of. Sometimes I think if you can offend somebody without enraging them, you're still captivating them.
Well, I mean, we all fight the same problem of we all cover the same topics. We all talk about relationships. We all talk about smoking weed. We all talk about our jobs. We talk about porn. We talk about our parents. I think every comic needs to have those jokes that.
See, you did look at my set list.
What do you mean?
Those are all my jokes, parents, porn, God.
There was a comic from Kansas City who used to tell this joke about open micers, and it was like, yeah, I woke up, masturbated, smoked weed, masturbated again, and just covered every topic that every open micer does. And it's weird that we all talk about the same shit. So I started talking about stuff that no one else talks about.
I like it, man. I like it.
I feel the same way about your set as well. Okay, your drug joke. You growing up, you had a drug problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kind of pivot to my mom dragged me to church. My mom dragged me here. And I like, it's a very clever wordplay.
Yeah.
But it also, it's not a joke that makes people think. It's a joke that makes people laugh because everyone can fucking relate to it by having their mom drag them everywhere when they were kids. So that's why that joke
yeah.
on so many different levels.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell people for the longest time that drug problem amongst children, as some people would say it, have it's a real issue, and it affects people in all different ways. It's kind of like, when somebody goes to jail, it's not just the person doing the time that's locked up. It's the people that are in that person's life also,
Right.
So there's a lot of different ways that a kid can have a drug problem without actually ingesting the drugs, and I think that there's something funny to that, like obviously I wasn't ingesting pills when I was a young child, but my mom didn't have the best qualifiers for when she would find a babysitter, so sometimes she would get fucking side ponytail Tiffany from down the street, and she would just more or less set us up in our room with the TV on, and then she would go in the living room and turn up the volume, and that's all. I'm just saying that, like, drugs affect children in different ways. Sometimes people have people over that do drugs, and then they talk to your kids, and that stays with your kids forever. So I think there's a lot of cool little avenues around that neighborhood, but yeah, I think it is funny to wordplay with people, just because that to me is the easiest form of misdirection. You know what I mean?
It is, and it also lightens the mood and gets the audience, all right, again, I can relate to this guy. And that's the one thing every comic needs, is to be relatable, except for Noah Chap, but his stuff is so fucking funny that we go down that wormhole with him.
You know what my favorite thing about Noah Chap is he kind of like his it's like he's got a good insurance policy with his humor, like he tells the most outrageous stuff that I can assure you most decent people would not want to laugh at all, especially in public. However, Noah seems to have this talent of, like, well, first of all, he's such a good guy that it's seeping out of his pores. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's such a good guy that, like, he's already got, like, all the comedian support. So any show I've ever been to, it basically seems like this. All the comedians love him. We never get tired of seeing him. We're always laughing, even if we've heard the joke 50 times. We always just love the atmosphere that it creates. So when when Noah tells a joke, it's almost like the real audience members will usually look over at the comedians that are cackling, and then they'll be like, okay, that's our signal that it's okay to laugh at this. This guy must be a good guy. He must not be the monster that we think he is. Because you know what I mean? It's just yeah, I Dustin Jefferson and I have talked about this many a times, but one of our favorite things about watching Noah Chop do comedy is watching the crowd while he does comedy.
I'm gonna do one little story about him. We were on a show in Fraser, Michigan. I will say it might have been one of the worst shows I've ever done. That lasted probably about 3 hours. It was outside. Everyone was getting bit by mosquitoes. And Noah went up. And there was this one guy in the audience laughing harder than anybody else. Turned out he was a mortician.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that he would book Noah to perform at funerals. Because that would be an awesome gig.
I gotta tell you, I come from a real like Austrian Polish kind of family, and I think that Noah Chop would kill at my funerals.
That would
like at my in my family, like not at my funerals. In my family, he would kill. Like if he did my funeral, I think my family would really accept him. That dry sense of humor, that darkness, kind of, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think he has a future, not only as a great comic, but also being the first comic on the funeral home circuit.
Yeah, boy, I feel that. That would be great.
What were your comedy goals for 2020 before all of this happened?
My comedy goals before this all happened were to probably make some more headway at places like the Showcase and get a good rapport going with other club owners. But really, I'm fairly new to this. I'm not new to this, but I'm new in this. I'm 3 years in, so I'm just trying to still write jokes and just be a part of the community. I'm not I'm not as talented as some of these young go-getters, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to be a part of the community and hopefully be like a good sparring partner for some of these champions, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I was going to record my 9th album this year. I mean, in the 3 years that I've been doing comedy, my first 8 albums have been doing moderately unsuccessful, but the 9th one, basically me covering every Vanilla Ice song and doing jokes in between, I thought that was going to be my big break.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I did not record any comedy albums. I am not ready yet. So let's talk about other things. So how do you write? What's your writing style? What's your writing process?
Well, first of all, dude, I write on stage, So I'm just like a stage writer, I just kind of get up there and I let the movement feel me. I let the crowd tell me what to say.
And the bullshit meter went to 30.
Dude, you know how I write. I let other comics tell me when I'm funny, and then I try to I try to write that down. I don't know, man. For me, it's like a lot of my stuff is stupid stuff that comes to me, and then it's can I write a play around that? So, maybe a good example would be how I have this joke about how like I went to alternative school.
Oh, I haven't heard. Oh, no, I have heard this one.
Yeah. So, it's just like the whole premise of the joke was just a one-liner, where it's like my school was so alternative, our mascot was Lincoln Park, And then I found out this cool like area, like this cool little neighborhood that I could hang out in when it comes to like writing jokes. So it's like, okay, I basically just like to me, writing jokes is like, the joke is like this room that's closed off to everything. And you just need to find the right sledgehammer to bust through the wall. And then you have that whole room that you get to hang out in and travel through. So for me, it's like, when I come up with a stupid line like, oh, my school was so alternative, our mascot was Lincoln Park. Now I'm like, oh, wait, now I get to tell people about like it's a stupid gimmicky like wordplay, but now I get to tell people about like my alternative school. So I just try to find like one-liners that get me into a room, and then I hope that I can just bring that onto a stage and not make a fool of myself. But hey, I'm often wrong. Always confident.
I've never seen you make a fool out of yourself. I think the last time I saw you was it at the showcase?
I think so.
Yeah, it was probably back in January, which was my best and worst night at the showcase ever. Because I had Roger watch my set, and he told me I was too dirty.
Hey, bro, at least he talks to you, Well, at least he talks to you.
I asked him to watch my set, so I'm now working more clean, so I can hopefully get in there as a host.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That is my goal. Let's see. So, all right, you've done a few of my rooms. Praise them. Bring praise to them. I need to feel like Trump right now.
Your rooms are very nice. They're very nice, especially the rooms that I've been in. And I've been in some rooms. I have been in some rooms. These rooms, very roomy, lots of roomy things to do, roomy roommates, Roombas. I think I saw a Roomba in there. I think I did. I saw a Roomba. These rooms are great, fantastic rooms, really lavish rooms, great rooms.
Well, one of my rooms is lavish because we have a grand piano in there, and I wasn't there the night that you were at at Farmers. What was that experience like for you?
Man, I feel like this is a subject better probably talked about behind your back, but I guess we could.
Oh, no.
You know what? That's a great room. It's a very interesting idea. I just never was prepared for it, and nice kitty, by the way. Shout out.
He's the producer of the show.
I got one too, but he's passed out over here, bro.
They look alike.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was great. It was a very interesting concept. I just wasn't ready for it. But our buddy killed it at that show, and I was so mad that I didn't do what he did before he did it, because sometimes you second guess yourself and you come second in the race, and that's just what happens. But no, our buddy Shane Dials, dude, or as I like to call him Shane Dial Up the Heat, and he started singing along with the piano like it was a musical.
That's awesome.
And that lit up the room. So although it might not have been my favorite, to say that it wasn't effective would be incorrect.
Well, you kind of came on the show last minute, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I was that weekend. I was in South Carolina at a festival. I had that show, and then we were debuting another show at the I can't remember where it only lasted, Armageddon Beach Party, and at that point I decided I couldn't handle running 3 shows. Yeah.
I can't handle running one.
Dude, you run from what I hear is a really cool open mic.
By the way, can I make an announcement real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dear my fellow Americans, due to COVID-19, Agave Tequila Bar will be suspending its open mic in order to go along with the instructions from our governor to stay at home. We urge everybody to stay at home, stay safe, and we hope to reopen up in May when this all clears over.
That's great. Which means you probably have a week from the time this airs. to go back there. Kevin,
I just forgot to do the cliche. We're canceled because of COVID.
You also
Facebook post.
you forgot to do the cliche. We as Americans have never been through something like this, but this traumatic experience has bound us together with a new sense of resiliency, a new sense of hope. And when this hope is over, we will all be at the Guave Taco House to enjoy the open mic run by Kevin Key and Jacob Barr.
But also, let me say, don't support that bar. I mean, come to the open mics, but do not support the bar.
All
right.
right.
Don't cut that out. I want to leave it there.
I mean, the 10 to 20 people who watch this, hopefully will make it this far.
Yeah.
But man, before we go, it's been great seeing you. I have become a big fan of Craigslist Misconnections. I'm sure you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I've posted more than a few times on there.
And
I'm looking for love, baby.
A lot of people are, including this next one that I'm reading. It was I found it today in the Oakland County Misconnections. It's called "You Can Do Better" with 3 exclamation points behind it. You are a sexy redhead, and I saw you at Kroger's on 11 Mile and Middle Belt. You were in the frozen foods aisle fighting with your husband, and all I could think was, you can do better. He was short and fat. I am tall and muscular. He drives a 1995 Dodge Neon. I drive a Porsche, made in 2017. He bought you boxed wine. I have a collection of bottled wine. I followed you and saw that you live in a trailer park. I live in a large house. You can do better. Unlike your man, I am not on food stamps. My bank account is fat. I can take you to restaurants that don't have a value menu. So what do you say? Why don't you dump the zero and get with the hero? Let me know what was on your t-shirt. If you can crack a joke, riff, make a snide comment on it, that would be awesome.
Bro, let me tell you one thing, dude. And this is the only thing I know. That guy is Jeffrey Epstein.
What is he? Because I'm thinking this woman might be too old for Jeffrey Epstein.
Bruh, first of all, check the way he's flexing. He's like, I'm big and tall. He ain't big and tall. That's the first rule of catfishing. Okay? You say what you're not. Okay? You pretend to be it until you see it, you know, or you see, you know, whatever it is. I forget the saying. This guy is Jeffrey Epstein. Dude, he drives a Porsche. Think about it. He's following her home. You know what I mean?
Creepy. That is kind of creepy.
You know, the dude, he's in the frozen food aisle. This dude's obviously looking for, you know, places to hide a body. I'm just saying this guy, he's literally looking for love in all the wrong places, and one of those places is the frozen food aisle.
At Kroger. Don't forget at Kroger.
At Kroger. Yeah, dude, this guy's probably the same type of dude who wants to give you Kroger sushi in the middle of a pandemic, you know? This is the kind of dude who probably, you know, he's like, oh, they picked me last for basketball. And it's like, well, yeah, dude, you were holding the football, you know? I mean, don't be an idiot.
Well, obviously this guy can't do better. Because if my advice to this woman is stay with your life, stay with what you know, because this guy sounds a little psycho.
Yeah, instead of giving this guy an A, instead of giving this guy an F, I think we should give this guy an upside down Nike symbol. Just don't do it.
If you're so rich, why are you shopping at Kroger? You go to Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, World Market. You go anywhere. You don't have to go to Kroger. And I will say, Kroger has great values. They should sponsor this show.
Yeah, what is up with expensive grocery stores trying to sound like they're for the people, too? Like Trader Joe's. Bro, it should be like fucking Rip You Off Joe's, dude. Ripping off the average Joe.
I go to Whole Foods sometimes to put my food on layaway. All right, that was a bad
You know,
joke.
they call it Whole Foods because you can get double the food at Kroger.
It's true. Or triple the food at Aldi.
Yeah, for sure. Amen, brother. That's where I go to church.
At Aldi?
Oh yeah, baby.
Uh, Supermarket plus church, we learned new things. We learned that the lizard people are taking over. We learned that Kevin Key might be back with his ex-girlfriend. And we learned that Kroger gives you more value than Whole Foods. And New Belgium Voodoo beer, that is awesome. Kevin, thank you so much. Hopefully I will see you sooner than later. And I will see you on May 27th at the birthday roast of Robert Schneider.
Rob Schneider, I can't wait. Thank you for having me. Praise God. Thank you for everybody watching. And Mazel Tov.
And guess who's on tomorrow's show?
Dustin Jefferson.
No, I still got to book him. John Campbell.
Book him.
John Campbell will be our guest tomorrow.
Well, tell John Campbell when you talk to him tomorrow that Kevin Key thanked him for his birthday present again. And
what did he get you for your birthday?
Why don't you ask him that question and just know that I'm thankful.
I will do that. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
Amen, brother. See ya, brother.